to believing in such dogma or madness to get the people destroyed. Like for example, okay, you got all type of different various of sexuality, transsexuality, homosexuality, the LGBT. That's a snare to get the people to depopulate themselves and to destroy themselves. Because it all reverts back to the Georgia Guidestones. How to maintain humanity on the 500 million. How do you do that? By beguiling the people to believe in such nonsense that I've just spoken about. Okay, or that I've just said. So that's that beguilement. Go on.
Watch ye therefore and pray always.
Right, and watch ye therefore and pray always. What are we to watch for? The men of the Lord, the men that's out here doing the work. While to watch the news, read articles, okay, and bring out these scriptures as well. At the same time, and warn our people of the impending danger. Because our people, they're going to be taken in a great number, man. It says that, it tells you in Ezra, the 8th chapter, it speaks about how there be many more that be destroyed than be saved. All right? Because you got a lot of these people in the churches, they're thinking that God came to save all people. God died for everybody. But guess what? What you're forgetting is the 144,000. What about that? See that going?
And pray always that ye may be accounted worthy.
Right, and pray always that we may be accounted worthy. Okay, for to succeed out of this or to overcome the beast. All right, go on.
To escape all these things that shall come to pass.
Right, and to escape all these things that shall come to pass. The famine of the word, the actual famine which will take place in Great Britain and America.
Right.
Okay. The economic collapse, which will bring in the famine, World War III, okay, and the microchip beast technology. So once we overcome this thing, then we'll get into the kingdom. But the only way we're going to overcome it is by keeping the word of the Lord, man. Because like I said earlier before, once you have the word of God and you understand it, now your knowledge is supreme. Okay, you can see everything from a bird's eye view. Okay, that's why we can say that the so-called white man, he's the wicked or he's the devil. Okay, or that's why we can say that 2/3 of our own people, they're gonna be destroyed. Okay, that's why we can read, certain brothers can read spirits too. Okay, why? Because we can see everything from a bird's eye view. Once you can see everything from a bird's eye view, from a supreme standpoint, you know exactly what's going on. Okay, but if you take the knowledge of this world, which is knowledge from the ground, then you're only gonna see so much. But when you take this knowledge, you'll see everything, and we see everything, and that's why we can watch the news and a scripture just pops in our mind because we know, okay, yeah, that purpose is gonna come to pass. Oh, this purpose is gonna come to pass. All right, we know exactly what's happening. Go on.
Worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass,
right,
and to stand before the Son of Man.
Right, and to stand before the Son of Man. Hold that, give me Mark 9:4. Because it tells you in the book of Mark, the 9th chapter, it says, there shall be some standing here that shall not taste of death until they see the Son of Man coming in his glory. And that's the elect, because you're going to have just about, I'll say, what, billions of people dying because of this nuclear war, okay, and etc. And you're going to have the select few of men that's going to stand until the Lord comes. Okay, go on.
St. Mark chapter 9 verse 1.
Right.
And he said unto them, verily I say unto you,
right,
that there be some of them.
There be some of them, go on,
that stand here.
And who are the them? The them is talking about the Israelites. That's got this word, the elect, 144,000. Okay, those are the some of the men. Now some brothers, they're going to be beheaded pursuant to, what is it, Revelations the 20th chapter. That could very well come to pass. But you're going to have certain brothers as well as that's going to be probably in the wilderness, okay, without the mark of the beast because they didn't take it. So they've become an outcast of society. And now the turbulent times have come already, okay, to the point where people are dying now, left, right, hand, and center. Missiles are dropping and gunshots and etc. Which really, when the missiles drop, brothers are going to be beamed up. So we're not going to even be here. But it's going to get rowdy out here, man. To the point where the government is going to rise against the people and the people rise up against the government. So out of all of that confusion, you're going to have certain men that's going to overcome all of these things and these troubles just so they can see that the Son of Man coming in his glory, man. Now how glorious is that? Go on.
there be some of them that stand here,
Right.
but shall not taste of death
that shall not taste of death, because there's going to be millions and millions of people that's going to taste of death. Go on.
till they have seen the kingdom of the Most High come
Right.
with power.
And right, read that verse again.
And he said unto them, verily I say unto you,
Right, verily I say unto you, go on.
that there be some of them that
Which the
stand here,
word verily means truly. Go on.
which shall not taste of death till they have seen the kingdom of the Most High
Right.
come with power.
Right, and that's YAHAWASHI, because YAHAWASHI is going to bring that kingdom with power. All right, and when YAHAWASHI comes, he's going to add his little insult into injury. Okay, so all hell is getting ready to break loose, and how do we know that? Because the mark of the beast is in high power now. It's in full effect. You got people that's being shipped in Sweden, Australia, okay, certain states in America, certain areas in England, okay, like Leeds, for example. And then you also hearing about the issues concerning North Korea and America, which really, to really be honest with you, I personally believe that North Korea ain't gonna do nothing, man, because North Korea can't reach America. Now, but I want to say this: if Donald Trump decides to strike North Korea, guess what? America's gonna have to deal with China and Russia, and that's the bottom line. And then that whole big old thermonuclear war is gonna happen, which is bound to happen because it's in the scriptures. Go on.
So it said Revelation 20 verse 4.
Right.
And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them,
Right.
and judgment was given.
And the Lord said he saw thrones. The thrones represent all of the different previous empires at one time. Go on.
And they sat upon them,
Right.
and judgment was given unto them.
Right.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of YAHAWASHI.
Right, so he saw the souls of them that were beheaded for YAHAWASHI. All right, because it's going to come to the point where if you don't accept that mark of the beast, that beast system, that microchip, hey, they're going to execute you. They're going to expel you and consider you as an enemy combatant or a terrorist. That's what it's going to get down to, because see, this society is numbered. This particular world is numbered, man. Like I said, y'all know why. You see, it just goes to show you we at the end of this thing. We at the end of this thing because all of the wildness is coming before us. And I just spoke about that earlier before. You got different sexualities of all sorts and etc. So now the Lord has a reasoning to bring great judgment down. You see that? That's the whole thing, and that's why the nuclear missiles. That's why those missiles that the Iranians got, the Russians got, the UK has, they're going to be used to do damage on the soils of Britain or wherever they're supposed to be aimed to go. Go on, brother.
And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of YAHAWASHI, for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast,
Right.
neither his image,
Right.
neither have received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years.
Right, and that goes back to Mark 9 and 4, because those brothers there, they're gonna see YAHAWASHI coming to bring in the kingdom.
Right.
Okay, why? Because they didn't receive the mark of the beast or bow their knee to Baal. Can you get me that in Romans 11? Because that's what the society is all about. It's all about Baal, the god of Baal Berith. Like you was going into, brother, earlier before, how in Sonoma County, Georgia, in America, what they do is they have this community, and within this community of people, they go to this thing called the Bohemian Grove.
California.
Yes, Sonoma County, yeah, California. So they go to this Bohemian Grove thing, and while they're there doing their rituals, they're sacrificing children in it, doing evil, sadistic shit. Okay, and that's what the society is all about. It's all about Baal Berith. So read what you got.
Romans 11, verse 2. The Most High have not cast away his people,
Right.
which he foreknew.
Right, the Lord have not cast away his people before he knew. Because you got a lot of bug outs, right, that's in these religions, like Islam, etc. They really believe that the Lord did away with Israel. He's not dealing with Israel no more. Now you got to go to some old Arabic guy that couldn't speak a lick of English and correspond with what he's saying. And I'm talking about some old lousy Muhammad. All right. Now the Lord didn't cast away his people. The Lord is dealing with Israel. That's the bottom line. Go on.
What ye not what the scripture saith of Elias, how he maketh intercession to the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and dig down thine altars, and I am left alone.
And I am left alone. Go on.
And they seek my life. But what saith the also of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself.
Right, and I reserved to myself. The Lord has reserved to himself. Go on.
7,000 men.
7,000 men. Now, is it literally talking about 7,000? No. 7 means completion. So there's a completion amount of men that will not bow down to the ways of this world. Which the ways of this world is of Baal Barif. Which Baal is another way of saying Satan. Okay? And that's just the whole thing, man. That's the whole thing. So, like I was saying before, I want to revert back to what I was saying. We're at the end of this world, man. We're at the end of this revival of ancient Rome. How do we know this? Because, matter of fact, brother, hold that, get the 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. How do we know that we're at the end? How do we know this? Because you got people that will say, well, you know, you had all the people that said that we was in the last days back in their time and it never came. But this is how we actually know we're in the end. Read that.
2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1. He answered me then.
And he answered me then, go on.
And said, measure thou the time diligently.
Measure thou the time diligently. How do we measure the time diligently? By looking for prophecies. Who's going to look for prophecies? The prophets. Not just any old geezer walking up and down the street. The prophets are going to look for prophecies. Go on.
In itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past.
And when we see part of the signs past, go on.
Which I have told thee before.
Which I have told thee before. How did the Lord tell us before? In the Old Testament and in the New Testament. Go on.
Then shalt thou understand.
Then shalt thou understand. Then shalt thou understand. Go on.
That it is the very same time.
That it is the very same time. Go on.
Wherein the highest will begin to visit the world.
And who is the highest that's going to begin to visit the world? Who you call Jesus Christ, which is a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. All right, no, Muhammad is not coming back. The Egyptian gods is not coming back. YAHAWASHI is going to proclaim his rulership on the planet, and we're going to reign along with him. Okay, that's who's coming. Go on.
Visit the world which he made.
He's going to visit the world which he made. Now, how do we know that he made the worlds? All you got to do is read Genesis 1 and 1 and read it in the Lashon Kodash and break that down and use it, and it'll be a lot more clear for you to understand. For the men that can understand. Okay, go on.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people of the world.
And uproars of the people of the world. Aren't we seeing that today? People rioting, people protesting because of this and that and the third. So that's happening already. That's part of the signs right there. Read that one sign real quick, bro. You see the thing with the Bible literally gives you signs of what's going to come after that. What's going on, bro? Okay, that's just the thing with the Bible. The Bible is a book of prophecy. Okay, and you might have somebody around the way, they may tell you, do you understand that book? Do you understand what it's saying? Of course we understand what it's saying. And the reason why you don't understand what it's saying because your pineal gland has been sealed and closed up not to understand. That's the difference. Go on. Go on. The Most High closed your third eye to see what's in his Bible. All right. You see, what you have is you have the elite of the righteous, which we are the elite of the righteous, and you have the elite of the wicked, which is Evelyn, Rothschild, and the likes. And that's why if you notice, the top banking families, they know the Bible to be true. But what they do is that they rule their kingdom in a different philosophy to mislead you people, to destroy you people. That's why this world is all set up. It's set up so that you can be led to destroying yourselves and to invoke wickedness, man. Go on.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 29, verse 29. The secret things belong unto Yahweh.
Right, the secret things belong unto Yahweh. Go on.
Our power.
Our power. It didn't say everybody's power, it said our power. Because it's the power of Israel. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Go on.
But those things which are revealed.
Oh, those things that are revealed. Go on.
Belong unto us.
Belong unto us. Who are the us talking about? You can get the, what is it, Amos 3 and 6? What is the us talking about? Read that verse again.
The secret things belong unto Yahweh.
Right, the secret things belong unto Yahweh. Go on.
Our God.
Uh-huh.
But those things which are revealed.
Right, those things that are revealed. Go on.
Belong unto us.
Belong unto us. And who, go on.
And to our children forever.
And to our children forever. Go on.
That we may do all the words of His law.
And that's talking about the prophets, man. Because the prophets, they're going to establish the kingdom of heaven. And then do our children's children, they're going to know the knowledge of what's good and what's bad, okay? They're going to know the whole spectrum because they're going to get it from the men, the begotten spirits, man, that created the heavens and the earth, which are the elect, the prophets. And that's why these people out here, these regular, you know, Charles and James that you see out in the street, all they're doing is watching EastEnders, watching Coronation Street, watching X Factor, going to these silly clubs, okay? And they're not going there to better themselves, they're going there so they can make themselves, just to destroy themselves, all right? What's the benefit of going into some club where you got people that's got diseases galore? What's no benefit of that? All right, go on. Yeah, Amos, what is it, 3 and 6? You know, and that's just the whole thing. This world is of Satan. This is not the world of the Lord, man, or the Most High. That's why you got so much bullshit happening throughout the four corners of the society. Go on.
Amos chapter 3 verse 6. Let me verse 7.
Yeah, go on.
Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but He revealeth the secret unto His servants, the prophets.
He revealeth the secrets unto the servants, the prophets, and that's why we can see the prophecies that are coming to pass, which the prophet Ezra gave a command. What was the command? Okay, to search out the signs diligently in itself, so that we can warn our people, okay, that are Israelites, of these things to come, and also for our own good as well, which the main prophecy is the microchip technology. And that shows you as well that because we always bring it out in Great Millstone, it shows you that we are the men of the Lord, because we're the only guys bringing out the chip. All right, and the Lord didn't say that we're literally His men, but we have faith and we believe that we are the men of the Lord. Why? Because we do everything according to what the Bible says, man, to the best of our ability. Go on.
Romans 11, verse 4. But what saith the also of the Most High unto Him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men.
So the Lord reserved unto Him 7,000 men. Go on.
You have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal.
Right, and that image is talking about the ways of this world. Okay, which Baal is another way of saying Satan. That's what that goes into. All right, so when you care for this world and you all up in it, hey, guess what, man? You're going to take that microchip, baby. Because what does it tell you in John? You know what you want to get, bro.
This is first epistle of John, chapter 2. Verse 16.
Yeah, go on.
For all that is in the world.
Right, for all that is in the world, which is this particular age that we're living in right now, this eon. Go on.
The lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life.
Right, go on.
It's not of the Father.
But it's not of the Father. Go on.
But it's of the world.
But it's of the world. So this society is not of the Father, man. So if you love the Father, you're gonna reject this world. You're gonna be dead to this world. Because this world ain't got nothing to do with the Most High power. Has nothing to do with it. Okay? Go on. Okay, you're going.
1 John chapter 5 verse 4. For whatsoever is born of the Most High overcometh the world.
Right, so read that verse again.
1 John chapter 5 verse 4.
We're going.
For whatsoever is born of the Most High.
So it says whatsoever is born of the Most High. Go on.
Overcometh the world.
Overcometh the world. All right. So this word is going to overcome the world. And if we stick to this word, we'll overcome this world. That's why it's going to go into it, right? Go on.
And this is the victory.
And this is the victory going
that overcometh the world, even our faith.
Right, even our faith. So we have faith in this Bible here, man. That's why it tells you in what is it? Isaiah 33. I could be wrong, but it says, wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy time and the strength of his salvation. Okay? So we're going to be strengthened in the salvation by this word. Not by no keeper and guys or the Egyptian book of the dead or the Quran. No, all we need is the Bible. That's all we need. Okay? All we need is the Bible, man. We don't need no other book to back what we're saying or to back what YAHAWASHI was saying. His eyes. Yeah, that's a good precept, man. It's a very good precept you brought out. You know, because we're coming towards the time of the, you know, we're not coming towards the time of the end. We're already in the end. All of the prophecies that are speaking out now. It tells you in Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, that pretty much that in the end it shall speak and not lie. What is going to speak? All of the things that is written in this book. Okay. Keep going.
Verse 5. Who is he that overcometh the world?
Right, it says, who is he that overcometh the world? Go on.
But he that believeth that YAHAWASHI is the Son of the Most High.
And that's all it takes. It's that simple. All you gotta do is believe that YAHAWASHI is come to do what? That believe that he's the Son of the Most High. So that's all it takes, man. I mean, if you denounce that Roman Catholicism dogma concerning the what is it? The virgin birth, okay, or anything alluding to that, okay, if you denounce all of that, or basically all of the philosophies of this world, and you gravitate to this word here by believing that YAHAWASHI is the Son of the Most High, then hey, you could be delivered. But you gotta have the mindset. The Lord gotta give you the mind capability to accept that. You gotta be a part of the elect. That's the bottom line. Go on.
2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight.
Right, we walk by faith, but not by sight. Go on. So that's just the whole thing right there. We walk by faith, man. Like Abraham and other men that used faith and it became beneficial towards them.